Hello there, welcome to another fresh edition of your favorite program on television, Inside Nigeria. Sorry for that mix up we had earlier on, but we are back now to review four headline stories on some national newspapers. My name is Winifred Ugbebo, and of course, we have Nigeria's most influential newspaper, Leadership, to flag off the program. Leadership's main headline story today says EDO governorship, APC orders fresh primary to clear legal hurdles. Replaces Uzodinma with Otu as panel chair. Presidency National Working Committee, a renewed alliance to deliver Dennis Idahosa. Tinubu rolls out zoning formula. These are the headline stories of Leadership. Beside that, we have police DSS arrest Abure, that is the Labour Party chairman, over mob attack, attempted murder. Senate rejects planned electricity tariff hike. Gunmen kill 24, injure 18, gun houses in Benue. Naira gains strength at official market, closes at 1,542 naira per dollar. And above that, Gowon asks ECOWAS to lift sanctions on Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger. The story continues on page 10 of Leadership. And of course, on the cover of Leadership, we have the picture of the former head of state, Yakubu Gowon, and the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday at the presidential villa. Both of them are in a handshake on the photo today. Above the masthead of Leadership, Kemi Nadab appointed new CG of Immigration. Hardship despite DSS warning, Labour insists on protest. These are the headline stories today on Leadership. Of course, we move over to the page 3 of the paper, where we have our stand. Our stand today is on invalidation of $2.4 billion forward contract deals. Matters are rising. Of course, we want to find out what that is. Let's move to the back page of the paper, where we have Being Blunt with Muazu Enize. Muazu Enize is the group managing director of Leadership Newspapers Limited. And of course, today is writing on professors as endangered species. Professors as endangered species. You log on to the website of Leadership to read on that column, the editorial, the news pages, and of course the continuation of the headline stories on today's Leadership. www.leadership.ng. From Leadership, we move to THISDAY newspaper, and THISDAY says, "Who will save the Naira? Manufacturers cry out, want preferential forest allocation." Who will save the Naira? Manufacturers cry out, want preferential forest allocation. Of course, the riders say less than 20% of forest requirement available in banks. Concerns mount over crypto speculation as Naira sustains free fall at parallel market, now 1,920 naira per dollar. EFCC arrests BDC operators in Kano, Ibadan. APCON blames forest volatility on market forces, liquidity challenges. Of course, we also have the famed picture of a former head of state, Gowon, in a handshake with President Tinubu on the cover of THISDAY today. We move up where we have Edo APC Guba primary crisis claims Uzodinma. Party picks Otu as replacement. As Labour Party National Chairman Abure arrested in Edo by police DSS. Federal government Afrexim Bank signed $1 billion deal to develop Nigeria's health sector value chain. The story is on page 6 of THISDAY. Federal government Afrexim Bank signed $1 billion deal to develop Nigeria's health sector value chain. Above the masthead of THISDAY, we have Tinubu requires more time to perform. Gowon pleads with angry Nigerians. Wants ECOWAS to lift sanctions on Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, withdrawal of exit notice. Nigeria on course to achieving economic stability, says Wale Edo, the finance minister. And of course, with that, we've come to the end of THISDAY review today, Thursday, as we move to Vanguard newspaper. Vanguard's newspaper is on, the story headline today is on hardship, and it says hardship, DSS, NLC face off over planned protest. Share your protests, DSS test organized labor, add some elements planning violence. Face your job, you can't stop us. NLC dares DSS. JAB takes on DSS, reaffirms support for NLC. I'll take that leading story once again. Hardship, DSS, NLC face off over planned protest. Share your protest, DSS says organized labor, add some elements planning violence. And NLC dares DSS says face your job, you can't stop us. JAB takes on DSS, reaffirms support for NLC. And of course, we have the picture of Gowon and Tinubu, and underneath that we have the picture of Abure, the chairman of the Labour Party that was arrested yesterday in Edo State. Senate to federal government stop plans to hike electricity tariff. Emefiele accuses Akpabio of defamation, demands 25 billion naira. IMF sees naira depreciating by 35% to 2,081 naira per dollar in official market. And in sports, AFCON final, Ekong fourth Pesero statistics. We move over to the stories above the masthead of Vanguard. CBN reverses serve, raises custom duty rate to 1,605.82 naira per dollar. EDO 2024 National Working Committee drops Uzodinma, appoints O2 to conclude primary today. Tinubu not interested in zoning or Shomole. Anxiety as 10 aspirants fight for PDP ticket today. Gowon says Nigerians should give Tinubu more time as police arrest Labour Party National Chairman Abure Ogbalo in Benin. These are the headline stories today on Vanguard newspaper. For more, log on to the website of Vanguard, www.vanguardngr.com. From Vanguard, we move to Daily Sun. Daily Sun's story is still on hardship in the country, and it says hardship revolt brewing. Agbakoba warns government. Says federal government not communicating hope to Nigerians. Importers, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, others groan as Naira continues free fall. I'll take Daily Sun's leading story again. Hardship revolt brewing. Agbakoba warns government. Says federal government not communicating hope to Nigerians. Importers man, others groan as Naira continues free fall. Just like we also have photo captions of Bola Ahmed, the president, and former head of state Gowon today. We also have another picture, two pictures actually, on the cover of Daily Sun. The second leading story says federal government considers relaunch of cash transfer to vulnerable Nigerians, targets 12 million people. Beside the masthead of Daily Sun, Peter Obi carpets federal government as CBN raises customs exchange rate to 1,605.48 naira. Gunmen kill 3, adopt 65, raise 30 houses, 20 motorcycles in Niger. High cost of living, DSS labor clash over planned protest. Emefiele fights back, demands 25 billion naira as damages from Akpabio over alleged defamatory remark. Forest will support clampdown on illegal operators, Gwadabe Apkonche. Edo Guba, new twist as APC replaces Uzodinma with O2 is unfair for party to single out state for zoning or Shomole. Forest disclosed 7.78 million consumers in limbo over procurement of electricity meters. And Labour Party crisis gets messier as police arrest Abure in Edo. We arrested him for attempted murder, robbery, police force. These are the headline stories today on Daily Sun. For more, log on to the website of Daily Sun, www.sunnynewsonline.com. And from Sun, we move to the last paper we have on our menu today, and that is The Guardian. Guardian's leading story says, Customs 5 trillion naira target threatens trade, heightens price crisis. Customs 5 trillion naira target threatens trade, heightens price crisis. The story continues on page 6 of The Guardian. Of course, as the custom with The Guardian, they have illustration beneath the headline story. It cost about 18 million naira to clear 1.1 times 40 feet container and 10 million naira to clear 1.1 times 20 feet container. Import rates adjustment under Tinubu May 2023 to date. We have so many varying rates from inception of this present administration to date as captured by the illustration. Meaning that we have petrol queues spread nationwide as Ipman Merman blames supply disruption. Transcript processing saga how not to treat alumni of modern varsities polytechnics. 5 banks impairment charges hit 580 billion naira in 9 months. Abure arrested in Edo as aggrieved candidates seek his prosecution. Bono engages monarchs on reintegration of repentant terrorists. Gowon urges ECOWAS to lift sanctions against Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger. Tinubu gave governors 30 billion naira each to address food shortage. Lack of funds forces the Tigers out of AfroBasket qualifiers. The story continues on Panorama page 2 of The Guardian. Of course, that's where the end of The Guardian's newspaper cover review is this morning. For more, log on to the website of The Guardian, www.guardian.ng. And from The Guardian also, this is where we end the first segment of the show, this Thursday show. Don't forget, we have our Thursday guest already in the house, Olamilekon Adefolare. Don't go away, stay tuned. Good morning and welcome back to the second segment of your Thursday show today, Thursday, February 22, 2024, inside Nigeria. My name is Unifor once again, and as you can see, I have my Thursday guest with me sitting beside me in the studio, Olamilekon Adefolare. Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Adefolare is also a political economist. Yes, let's start with, where do we start? Let's start with this day. We say the Naira manufacturers cry out want preferential forest allocation. And of course, this is on the backdrop of the editorial leadership today in validation of $2.4 billion forward contract deeds matters arising. I don't know if that, because in the editorial, from what you can see, that this money has been sold there, and the CBN decided to cancel this contract on the basis that most of these businesses failed to fulfill certain conditions. And I claim that the businesses either did not have valid import documents or the entities did not exist and got allocations anyway. Of course, this is what you have been saying all this while.
Exactly. Particularly when we call for auditing of the people who are enjoying this free dollar supply by the CBN. And CBN have come out with 2 billion of it or 2.4 billion of it. Nobody can really ascertain this set of people that are collecting it. And if they have collected it, it means that they have to return it to the court. That's what it means. So I think the CBN should just stand on this. They should not be shaking.
However, the editorial today is like, won't it also jeopardize the current Naira fall that Nigeria is actually having? Won't it exacerbate the situation?
For me, although partially it could, but we also need to look at who are these entities. According to CBN, no address, no CAC record no valued or feasible thing you can attach to them.
Yes, and it's what you have always been saying since that the CBN is not really playing the oversight functions to the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, because at the end of the day, they just give this forest to their friends, to their cronies, who at the end of the day will collect this forest and go on round tripping.
And it's very interesting, very interesting. And yesterday when I saw the Manufacturers Association of Nigerian President, DG speaking on national TV, I was like, who is he even speaking for? Is he speaking for the SMEs at the rural area or the one in the urban city or suburban city? Because when you talk about manufacturing, they are into about 5 different categories. The big giant manufacturers, the Dangote, the poor, they can't complain that they don't get forex.
Yes,
they can't complain. So, and they are members of the Manufacturing Association of Nigeria. Then we also have another category of Manufacturing Association that are basically in Agbara, in the state, within the Lagos Acid and Nature Acid. They can also complain they don't have access to forex. So which set of manufacturers are they speaking for? So we need to ask, or even when they pointed out that 20% of it is what they are getting, whatever, but they must come out and tell us, okay, this set of manufacturers have not been receiving, but we know that this set have been receiving. It will be made clear and everybody will understand, okay, actually that sector is suffering. But when now you now put a blanket and generalization that the manufacturing association is suffering, there is no dollar supply to them, it makes us to begin to interrogate. For instance, I remember some years back, CBN gave these guys some money. And most times they use that money to plan for 5-10 years. They buy equipment, they buy machine, they buy chemical. Are they saying that the equipment they bought 10 years ago have spoiled? They need to buy another one? Are they saying the chemical they are using have already been exhausted? They need to buy another one? Are they saying that some expatriates they brought in to do 1 or 2 things for them have come back and they need to get money to be able to bring more? Because these are the things we need to be asking man per se, not just them coming out to say, okay, we need more, they want preferential treatment. In which way?
In which way? That's a good one. Anyway, Lamileko, talking about Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, recently they threatened that they've been going on protests concerning the NAFDAC ban on sachet beverages and alcohol. And of course, they also posit that it's also going to worsen the employment situation in the country, as about over 100,000 will be out of jobs. Now, how will you relate that? Is NAFDAC in the right to ban sachet beverages and alcohol, or Manufacturers Association? What can be done actually to salvage the situation?
I think it's a 2-step for me. One is that over the years, these manufacturing guys have been putting their product in such a way. There is need for innovation. There is need to move ahead. There is need to step up your game. What are the research that have been conducted on the part of NAFDAC? When you put certain things, certain material, it has contamination. That should be what NAFDAC is supposed to throw into the tool. Okay, this is what we have discovered. This particular product inside this particular thing, it can lead to cancer. It can lead to this. It can lead to that. Everybody will understand. But you just doing a blanket, say don't put it. It leave a vacuum for people to begin to suspect it.
And besides, they also claim that at least it will remove easy access to this product. You know, teenagers can easily
procure. According to some people, they call it pocket friendly.
Yes, it's
pocket friendly. But the other, for me, I don't want even to tag the issue on NAFDAC. Is this guy that are producing this thing, what they have been able to discover is going to hinder the profiteering on the business. What NAFDAC is saying is that look for another alternative that will be more or better for packaging and use it. Meaning that they have to invest in research and they don't want to invest in research. And that's where we have problem in Nigerian business people. They don't like investing in research. Those pharmaceutical companies that left fail to do research in how to ensure that their operational cost is reduced by implementing or adopting some local materials. The same thing is happening to these guys now. Most of the material they are using is foreign. Is it not time for them to begin to think, okay, if they say we should not use this thing, is there another better way we can get local material and package this thing and present to the people, and it will be more acceptable? But they saying that 100,000 people will lose their job is a lie. I will not accept that.
Talking about looking for local raw materials, many years ago when artemisinin combined therapy was adopted as treatment for malaria, because the chloroquine was said to have failed. Now, you know, China has that product, and of course many people read politics into it, because the Director General of WHO then, Dr. Margaret Chan, was from Asia. Now, the Nigerian federal government then was saying that they were going to cultivate that artemisinin plant in Nigeria. And we don't really know how far that has gone, because these pharmaceuticals that left the country, just like you rightly pointed out, did not look locally to provide raw materials for their products.
It's because, and on the part of the government was not that serious. Although we have an agency of government, Pharmaceutical Council, a Pharmaceutical Research Development Agency of federal government, not Pharmaceutical Council, they are different. This one is the Pharmaceutical Research Development Agency. Yes. They are in Iduka.
Yes, I know it now.
How have they been faring in terms of NIPRI? How have they been faring in terms of research?
Nigerian Institute of Pharmaceutical Research.
I know money will be budgeted for that item. Just the way money, over 100 billion was budgeted for COVID-19 vaccine. To today, all the universities that collected that money, they kept quiet. Nobody's talking about it.
Now, still on this Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, because the issue is really on them. They said that less than 20% of forest requirements are available in banks. Now, one begins to wonder, is it that, just like what you always say, is they import their raw materials every month? What is really happening here?
It's interesting that we need to look at this particular issue. One, although the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, they could be right on one part, but they also need to interrogate their members. What are they doing with all the forests that we call? As I already pointed, they are in categories. The first line, those ones, they don't. You can never hear them come to complain about forest or Boa or whatever the other guy. But it is so for me. Who are they really speaking for? Is it because there are also cottage manufacturers in rural areas? Are they also speaking for those people? Because those ones are not even to complain about forest. Is it the pure water manufacturing company? They're also part of Manufacturing Association of Nigeria. Although they are complaining about importation of leather and the rest of it. So are they these kind of people that are speaking for, or who are they speaking for? Then in terms of the forex issue, the issue is this. For me, just we need audit. Let the association do an audit. Not just at the association, including Association of Commerce and Industry. The members also collect dollar. They travel abroad for all manner of trade, fair and the rest of them. They collect. So we need audit within this sector to be able to ascertain who are we really giving this forex to.
Okay. Now the DSS clamping down on the BDZs, was that the right thing to do? Because at the end of the day, it still hasn't stopped the free flow of naira.
The government is just playing fly. It's either we say no more BDC in the country, simple, instead of wasting people. I think over 50 people were arrested on Monday. They closed their shops because I was in that area. They closed their shops. They even say no sales policy, but it's a lie. They were still selling. Let's leave that one. They are just doing their business. The issue is that government is not yet serious, and government is looking at the political implication of it, because it is believed that it's only one certain region of the country that is into that kind of business. So for any government to clamp on them, mean they are going to be a fight between the government and some political elite. But if that would be the best way to eliminate this, because in other clans they don't have such the five multi forex market that we have are back now. They are now nine different rates. Initially it was 5, now we now have 9 rates, and those 9 rates are the one killing the dollar. Or apart from the technical devaluation of the currency by CBN on its own, because of the borrowing that he's doing, because he has spent over 1.8 billion in 1 month to supply to the market. You ask yourself, where did they get the money from? They borrowed it, so they have to pay back. So those technical devaluation is there. Then the other multiple market is still existing, and they're in many forms now.
Okay, now Adefolari, just before we move away from this topic, like the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria cry out, who will save the naira? Now I'm putting the question across to you. Who will save the naira?
We all as Nigerians, patriotic Nigerians, will save the naira. Those of us that have so much believe in dollar now, that have converted all our naira to dollar, we should go back and convert it to naira. Those of us that are into cryptocurrency is believing that, okay, with cryptocurrency you get more dollar, then you come back and convert it to naira. By the time you enter the same market with me, you begin to complain that the bag of rice is 50,000. Meanwhile, you are part of it, because your speculation around flipping within that sector is also inflating the price of those products. Then those of our political elite, the governors who are converting their federal allocation into dollars.
Yes, that's what the story that came out yesterday during the paper's editorial board meeting, and there was a story that came out that most during FEC or after FEC, most of these governors, they convert their security goods to dollars.
It's happening.
That's exactly why dollars always peak during
definitely
after their meeting.
Exactly.
Is the president not aware of it? Maybe to stop payments to these governors maybe after Fed?
No, they have to do the payment. It's just the wisdom. Initially there is this campaign before from 5
But
years
they can
ago.
decide to move it forward.
The issue is the CBN paid them in naira. The CBN doesn't pay them. Now they took the various to their various banks. Right. Now from that bank, they already arrangement with bank manager. The bank manager don't convert it to dollar for them. Wait for the next 1 month when it gets yield, you return it to them. They keep the profit somewhere, they keep the main money somewhere. That's what they are doing. And they learn this, the government learned this practice from the banks. Because that 5 billion that was domiciled in some banks few months ago, that their wealth, they kept it. They learn it from there. And that's why the governors will now go back to that same process and begin to use that. And to the detriment of everybody.
To the detriment of everybody, because that is why basically why the naira is still having a free fall. Yes, thank you so much. Let's move on to the Guardian. The Guardian says customs 5 trillion naira target threatens trade, heightens price crisis. Why is it? Is it that this National Assembly keeps increasing customs target without considering the adverse effect on Nigeria's trade?
I think it's not the target per se that is bringing this problem. It's the exchange rate for importers that is bringing this problem. The target, after they've been meeting that target, the last target they made in 2020, they almost 10 trillion. All cumulatively altogether. Plus, if you add both the cash they made in receipt from import duties, excess duties, and if you add the material they seize, what of material they seize, cars and all that, it's almost 10 trillion. But what is now fueling this particular issue is the rate that importers will be paying for their import,
which is quite high.
It's quite high. 1,446 naira for you to exchange. Once you bring any product and you want to pay back in naira form, you pay per dollar rate is 1,440 naira. But rather, what we should look at it, why are we dollarizing our port services? What should be the way forward? Why should we be dollarizing our port services? Is it because the international norms? Can't we look at something home market strategy to help us out of this situation? The target for me is not a problem, but the dollarization of the port system is the wahala there, and we must work on it.
Why should it be dollarized? Why can't we nationalize it?
The issue is because of the foreign investors that are coming into the economy. So most international port services, they do their rate in dollar because it's an international trade. But what Nigerian government are forgetting is that those countries that you're looking onto, they only look at the dollar rate, but they also look at the peculiarity of the volatile of this dollar rate to their economy. That's why they use their local currency to determine their rate, not dollar rate. But we can understand because government want to make more money, they want to make more money from receipt of port, they want to make more money from receipt of oil, from gas and all these things. But the target is not the problem, but the rate that we're changing for our importers is the problem.
That's the problem. And now presently it's 1,605.48 naira to a dollar.
But guess what? For an importer, for an exporter, you don't get this kind of fantabulous rate. It's more cheaper. When you want to sell dollar for people, it's cheaper.
Yes, it's cheaper.
So why? And the exporter is supposed to even earn more, not the importer paying to the custom.
Nigeria is in that situation. Like I was saying, how can we save the naira just before we leave that stuff?
The responsibility is on all of us. The onus of ensuring that naira is safe is on every citizen to play his part. The presidency, either they go through the hardline decision taking, in ensuring that people that have been found wanting either go to jail or face more serious sanctions. Then for the CBN, it has to buckle up. It has to carry out audit. Both issue of inside abuse, weak governance around the forex market and the rest of it has to catch it up within that sector. Then for the Manufacturing Association of Nigeria, they have to do audit. Who are they speaking for? They can't speak for Dangote that Dangote is not saving dollar or what. No, they can't. But who are they really complaining about for? Then for individuals like you and I and the rest of us in this studio, what are we doing with dollar? If you're ever dealing with dollar or dealing with cryptocurrency, what are you doing with it? Because at the end of the day, it has a ripple effect on you and the rest of us.
Thank you so much. Now we move up to leadership, Nigeria's most influential newspaper. And of course, this headline story today says EDO governorship, APC orders fresh primary to clear legal borders. It's a story, developing story on the paper. And of course, the paper has been following up on the issue since Saturday when the primary is held. And of course, the conclusive, a fresh primary is going to be held today.
Exactly.
But what really happened? Because at the end of the week, during the Saturday primary that took place, 3 three candidates were
emerged
as a ticket candidate of the party. What actually happened, and will APC be able to put this as in order in Edo State for this forthcoming election taking place in September?
I think what they have announced now is the best way. Now, you know, before now, there was this INEC warning that all political parties must ensure there is no legal tussle before the election. Now, if you want to follow that, there is no legal tussle. That's why we cancelled that initial primaries and going for a new one. But the issue still remains that Dennis Dawson may still emerge.
Yes, that's what the people say, because it's the presidency's choice.
I'm not sure whether it's presidency's choice, but everybody is saying it's the Godfather choice. That means Adam Oshomole's choice.
And of course, you remember the former speaker, the chief of staff. The president was also Speaker of House of Assembly, where Dennis Dawson.
Exactly.
Also,
no, the issue is that although we can link all this to it, but the reality still boils down. After all, before now, it was Osumbo. It was Osumbo that everybody was championing that is going to become. He was even championed as the presidential choice. But all of a sudden, that was little bit. You know, I only saw his campaign more on social media with young ones because he was appealing to the young Edo voter. But as we speak right now, it's just that the fallout of the last election was not quite good.
It was not seamless at all.
Exactly. Where people will conduct election, people will not conduct. And again, the man that went to supervise the election is also a controversial person.
Yes.
How would they have gone with a peaceful man?
I was not supposed to be the one to make the announcement.
Exactly. So how would they have gone with a peaceful person that is more acceptable? By now, nobody will complain. But at the end of the day, it may still come out as the choice of the
Yes, another fallout is that Tinubu loses zoning formula. That's what Shomole, the former APC chairman, told State House correspondent yesterday. But how true is this? Because prior to this time, the Edo Central constituents were saying that power must shift to them. And now the Shomole is saying that Tinubu has already ruled out zoning formula. What is going to play out at the end of the day? Because we have the incumbent governor, who is from the opposition party PDP, supporting a candidate from being Edo Central. How is it going to play out?
I think for me, just is a political rhetoric in a sense that let us make it open, and let's see what will come up. I think that's what I just see in the statement. But going for the zoning formula that was expected to be implemented to persuade and to make everybody to be happy is another thing from the Edo voters' mind. But for Edo people, as I see, they are just looking for who can give them governance. But when you talk about making sure everybody is happy in terms of rotation, maybe that could solve the problem. But for the president, it could also be something that could throw up some catch up, in a sense that they also would still pick the ticket.
Now we are having a situation whereby Labour Party is also embroiled in its own crisis, because the national chairman of the party yesterday was picked up. Mr. Julius Aburo was arrested by security operatives in New City.
I think he has been.
It was said they were supposed to hold their primary on Friday or Saturday.
No, the politics within the Labour Party, according to what Aburo has exposed himself to, because he has seen money. They have seen money, and you know, right from is at the national level that have been facing crisis. I think that thing also transcend into the local politics in Edo State, particularly its interest and its linking and relationship with the current governor of Edo State, particularly with the support of the PDP candidate. In a sense that you can see that PDP is also having issue. There was a plan, according to report, that if the PDP candidate that the governor is supporting have not gotten that particular ticket, he would have swayed to Labour Party, and that was see what is still in place, because the PDP themselves have not yet agreed for his
candidacy. Yes, some reports that were coming in that there's a kind of alliance between the Labour Party and the governor. But we don't know how true that is.
You know, it's politics. It cannot be far from what is happening. They may not be 100% true, but it cannot be far from, because politicians play their card in a way that to help them, to suit them, to have what they want. So in this case now, if we can't get it from PDP, definitely we'll use Labour Party to achieve our aim. And that's what. And for him being arrested, you know, there's allegation against him about financial impropriety, and the rest of them. So that could be the reason why they pick him up. But I just hope that it will not affect the primary. It could also be an in-house cleansing. so that he will not be there to influence anything. Let us do our part by ourselves. Without him, then whoever emerge will emerge and we'll go for it.
All right, thank you so much. Now, just before we go, the queues are back in Abuja, or even across the country. Petrol queues spread nationwide as Ipman Mema blamed supply disruption. I really don't know what is happening because the NATO that was threatening strike had already even suspended their own strike. Why are we still having queues at our police stations?
It's the distance of bringing the petroleum product from all the way from Lagos and other distant areas they normally pick it from. That would be because just suspended it on Tuesday and they expect their members to begin to pick. And you remember that it is not only NATO that is there. NATO supply majority of these Momo outlets. Momo outlets are major marketers outlets. That's what NATO deals with. Where the other guys that have been having petrol products have their own association, different from NATO. You get it? So those ones have been supplying within Abuja and on that area, but just that the Momo outlets are the ones supplying major supply. But with the suspension of the strike, we hope that they can start picking. And you know the journey is 3 days before you can drive all the way from Lagos. And it's 3 days, except maybe the drivers perform some magic.
It's really a sorry situation because we're having a situation whereby presently we are paying more, at least 617 per liter in NNPC filling stations, and of course it goes up to 670 in other filling stations. Yet Nigerians do not also have free access to this product. What is happening here?
It's the mystery behind oil and gas. Every opportunity is meant for the people in charge to make more profit, and that's what is happening. So with the little disruption in the supply, it will lead to some certain fluctuation in the prices. Don't be surprised that the depot owner could say, okay, we have wasted so much petrol, we are adding 2 naira. Then the tanker driver will say, okay, the outlet will also, we are adding 1 naira or 2 naira. If it just flow that way. And you must understand, with the interaction and transmission of the international price of crude oil comes in like that. And don't forget, the dollarization of our cost system, which we mentioned earlier, also have an effect. So everybody just looking for any small disruption, they just add to their cost. And they'll tell you because of 1 or 2 things, they have to do it that way.
Today is Thursday, February 22, 2024. What happened to our refinery? Because the president promised us that by December, at least Port Harcourt refinery will be up and running. Now it's February. We're almost there. February is almost coming to an end, and nothing of that. We've not heard anything from the president concerning his promise to get Port Harcourt refinery running.
Maybe they want to surprise us with a very interesting supply and outflow of this PMS from that particular asset in Port Harcourt or the particular refinery. But for many Nigerians, they are still waiting for it to come. Just like me too, I'm so anxious to see that particular refinery supply PMS to any region you want to supply to. But as I said earlier, they thought it was a mechanical completion they did. They are waiting for the outflow of those products. Maybe they are finished changing the parts. They're just waiting for the reactivation of those mechanical equipment and the flow.
So but these Nigerians should keep their fingers crossed.
They just have to, because we don't have any other thing.
I hope their fingers will not break in the process of waiting.
After all, they are still waiting for. We don't have promised the end of February.
We are still waiting. Well, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you on the program. Well, viewers, this is where we draw the curtain on today's program. I've had the pleasure of having in company with me. My Thursday guest is a political economist and a public affairs analyst, Olamilekan Adefolari. And I look forward to having you same time, same station next week. Well, before I go, 12 o'clock is news at noon. Don't forget to join us then. My name is Winnie Fuedo. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advertisements, please contact 080 3688